Hey guys, welcome to Cawbeertv. This is Duels of the Plainswalker 2013 and it's my deck guide to the pack instincts. I'm going to run through all the 60 cards that I'm currently using with this deck, and then I'll run through the cards that I'm not using and basically tell you why. Don't know if this is the best form for the deck, but currently I'm having a lot of success with it, so I thought I'd post this video and show people what my current thoughts are in the video. So without further ado, your first costs ones. Prey upon your one of your 1-kill spells in the deck. Makes a target creature you control fight a target creature opponent controls. Generally with this deck, your creatures are generally going to be a lot bigger than most of the creatures on their side, so it's your 1-kill card for picking off monsters. So I run all 3 of them. Next card, Primal Bellow, +1/+1 for forest for the end of the turn. Your trick card basically, using it for blocking and dropping it to take out a block, or vice versa, using it when attacking, taking out a creature that's maybe stronger that's blocked you, or just swinging in and winning the game. This card can win you the game quite easily. Next cost, your one and only 1 cost creature, Unveiling Walled Tracker, I believe is how you say it. Great card. It's only a 1/1 for 1, but it's its ability. It's basically that its ability is Prey Upon. You tap 2 forests in it, and it allows you to make a creature that you control fight a creature your opponent controls. So it's basically just Prey Upon. One thing with this creature, with it being a 1/1, sometimes it's better to have another creature out before dropping this, because it can just get picked off quite easily, especially with decks like goblins that are all 1/1s with their little tricks and killing spells, so be careful with this boy, it's valuable. On to your 2/2s, excuse me, Garrick's Companion, passed over from the last one, 3/2 with Trample, brilliant card. On to my next 2, I do run the Lightning Greaves. It's the one equipment I run. I think it's quite handy. It's a 2 cost, but its equipment is 0, so once it's cast you can just pass it around your creatures for free. Gives your creatures Shroud and Haste, so once it's on the battlefield, generally when you cast a creature you can get them to swing in on that turn as well. Plus it prevents it being picked off by target spells and creature abilities as well. I like that card, that's why I'm running it. Mana Ramps, Nature's Lore, Search your library for a forest, put it on the battlefield, run them. My 3 cost, Primordial Hydra, huge creature, one of the best cards in the deck. If you drop it for the 3 cost, it comes in as a 1/1, but every turn after that it doubles. But you can also bring it in as power, so if you bring it in with 4 lands, it's a 2/2, and then the following turn it'll be a 4/4. If you bring it in with 3 lands, it'll be a 3/3, following turn it's a 6/6. So the turn it's swinging in to attack, unless you've dropped it on with the Lightning Greaves, it'll be doing a lot of damage. Good card, and it basically puts a timer on the clock for your opponent to either deal with the card or they're going to lose. And if you've got the Shroud, the Lightning Greaves, great card, great combination. One card that I debate running is the Blanchwood Armour. There's 2 in the deck, but I only run 1, which is +1/+1 for each forest, and I run that card, but I'll explain later on. Cultivate, yet again, land grabs from the other deck. 2 land cards, 1 on your hand and then another 1 on the battlefield, just to boost your mana. One of my favourite cards in the game, the Leatherback Baloth, 4/5, brilliant against the goblins for walling off, just brilliant as a wall off. It's just a huge creature, and it makes your opponent go, oh, because they're very, very hard to deal with, and I run all 3 of them, have to run 3 of them, huge cards. Moving into our 4 course, this is where I start to mix my deck up a little bit. Some creatures here you could probably drop and replace, but we'll start off with the Chameleon Colossus. Run this, 4/4 for 4, but it's protection for black's one reason. Great card if you come across a black deck, just walls off, and then its ability, 4 cost and it doubles in strength, but that's stacked. So if you've got 8 land and you do it, it'll be a 4/4, which will be an 8/8, but then you do it again, which will make it a 16/16. Really, really, really strong card, and against a black deck, if you ever get to that stage, it just swings in and wins you the game. Great card. Also it's a chained link, which means that it's every creature, demon, dragon, etc. Next 4. So the Fine Grand Firstborn, whenever this creature attacks, you put ++1 counter on for each attacking creature. So generally the first turn this attacks, it'll be swinging in and becoming a 5/3, but if it's swinging in with any other creature, like the Baloth, this Baloth will then become a 5/6. Really, really good card. As I said, its weakness though, in the back it's only 2, so you have to be careful when casting it, because it can be picked off before it's actually been able to do any damage. It's one of the concerns I had when I was originally deciding to run it, but I've put in there, in a couple of games that I've cast it, it has actually helped out a lot, so I like that card. Next card, Master of the Wild Hunt, great card, 3/3 for 4, but it's his ability. At the beginning of your upkeep you put a 2/2 wolf token on the battlefield. Its ability is to tap any wolf creatures and they will do equal to their damage to an opponent's creature. So if you've got one wolf, it'll be doing 2-2 to an opponent creature, so they basically fight each other. But if you've got 2 wolves, that's a 4 damage to a creature. If you've got 6, it's doing 6 damage to an opponent's creature. They do their power back to your wolves, but you can just ping monsters off the battlefield. Any 1/1s that are kicking around, bang, you take one off a turn, and then you can save up and do some serious damage. Really, really good, especially later on once you get the wolf card, which I'll talk to later on. Next card is a Primal Hunt Beast. It's a 4 cost 3/3, but it's hexproof. The reason I run this card is, as I said before, the Blanchwood armor. If you get both of them together, you've pretty much got a really big creature on the battlefield, and there's not much they can do about it. The hexproof prevents it from being pinged, and it's very, very strong, so I like that card. The Timber Maw Larva, one of the cards I'm debating running. I do like its ability. When it swings in, it's getting +1/+1, so it swings in, it's getting big. It's a 6/6 when it swings in generally for the first time, unless you've got a land, and it's a 7/7, which is really good. I like that, but it's the 2. It can be picked off so easily unless you've got the Lightning Greaves. So I found that sometimes I cast it, I don't even get to use it because it just gets pinged straight away. So I'm still debating with that one, but with the Lightning Greaves it is quite a good creature to have, so that's why I run that. I run one Ant Queen as well. It's a 5 cost 5/5, so it's a good wall off as well, and it's good power on the battlefield, but its ability is really good as well. 2 cost and you can put a 1/1 on the battlefield. You're going to generally have the 5 lands anyway, so the second turn, if you're in trouble, you drop 2 1/1s and you can put up a nice wee wall, and then if you want, you can then start swinging in. I like that card. I've used it and I've never had any problems with it, so that's why I run it. Currently I'm only running the 1 Garruk's Pack Leader. I'm debating running 2, as I said, with some of the other creatures, drop them out and run some of the other ones. This has come over from another one. Whenever you drop a creature with power 3 or more on the battlefield, you draw a card. And generally with this deck, all your creatures are generally power 3 or more, except 1 or 2, like this boy. That's another reason why I'm thinking about dropping this boy and dropping in another Garruk's Pack Leader. A good card, 5 cost. If you put the Lightning Greaves on it, it means you're always going to be drawing a card if you're dropping monsters. So I do like that. Moving on, the Idric Stomp Howler, if that's how you pronounce that. 5 cost 4/4, but yet again with some of the cards, it's its ability that Streams using is to destroy an artifact or enhancement. You don't have anything in the deck that deals with enhancements except these cards, and I do like having the ability to take out enhancements, especially against the Peacekeeper deck. We have the 2, the Ring and the Journey to Nowhere, which just excels your creatures. Having this boy in the back means you can drop them, ping that, and then you get your boy back. I just like having that ability. One thing to note though, make sure that if you ever cast this boy and you're the only one that's got an enhancement on, you're going to destroy your own enhancement. Moving on, the only way to deal with flyers is the Sentinel Spider. Vigilance, which is great, so it means it can swing in and it's also going to be able to block. It's got the reach and it's a 4/4, so it's a good way to wall off against flyers. That's why I run 2 of them currently. There is, I think, a 3rd one in the deck, and I have thought about either swapping one of these boys out, putting the 3rd one in just to make sure that I'm protected against flyers, or as I said before, maybe the Ant Queen or the Timber War Lava, dropping that out and maybe bringing another spider. All debatable. Moving on to my big 3 cards now. My 6/6, the Rampaging Ballast. Love this card. You drop it, every time you drop a land you put a 4/4 on, so generally turn 6, if you wait a turn and you've got a land, drop this, then drop the land after it, and then you've got a 6 and a 4 on the battlefield. And especially if you've got Cultivate as well, or Nature's Lorn in your hand at the same time, you can drop quite a few 4/4s on the battlefield and just be really strong. The reason I run that, and it's only a 6/6 for 6. So next one, the Terror Stomper, 6 cost, can't be countered, and it's an 8/8 with Trample. Trample's a really good thing to have in this deck, especially against goblins and everything, because it's damage getting through as well. So that's the reason I run this big boy. And one of my favourite cards, the Howling of the Night Pack. As I talked about with the Wolf Boy earlier on, the Wild Master of the Wild Hunt, is that right? Master of the Wild Hunt, yep. This is a great card. 7 costs, so you're dropping 7 wolves. If you drop it the turn that you mana the 7, you're getting 7 2/2 wolves on. Originally I wasn't running this, we wasn't going to run this card because I wasn't sure how it would work in the deck, but it's brilliant. Sometimes you might only have 1 or 2 creatures on and you're struggling a little bit. They might have 3 or 4, especially against maybe the Peacekeepers. They've got some of your boys on their side. Instantly drop this and you can just wall off, and it puts 14 power on the field. It's a scary amount of power to drop straight away, and in combination with the Master of the Wild Hunt, it's a really good card. I'll only run one of them. As I said, with some of the other cards that I could swap in, I might run the second one, but currently I'm only running one of them just because I'm finding it good. So that's the cards I'm running. Let's go through the cards I'm not running. So we'll start with Fog, 1 cost, prevent all combat damage that we done this turn. When I first started doing the deck I was running this card, but I've dropped it for the one purpose is the only time that I ever seemed to use it was to delay the inevitable. I pretty much already lost, and by using this I was just delaying for a turn. It's never ever worked in a case I've delayed a turn and then been able to win the game with it. So I've dropped it. I might put it back in, it might come in handy. I believe in the Tree Folk in the last one there was a good one which was something blunt, I can't remember, but that also gave you health back for the attacking creatures. This one it just prevents damage, so I've dropped it. The Emerald Medallion, don't run these. 2 cost in the green spells cast. You've got plenty of mana ramp in this deck. I'd rather draw a land or a creature than this. Seeing this in my hand, it's just like, ugh, I'd rather have land or a creature, so I don't run either of them. As before we were going through the deck, I told why I run one of them. Bridal Boar, don't run this. I'm not quite sure about the creature. 2/2, sacrifice it, you get 4 life. Yet again, if you're in a position where you need to sacrifice this for 4 life, you're probably going to lose anyway. It's a 2/2, so it can be picked off. It's not really good at walling off, and it's a 3 cost as well. I'd rather be dropping my Leatherback Baloth on my turn 3 than this thing, so I don't run any of them. As I said before, I run one of these boys. The J-Main Day, oh god I can't even pronounce that, J-Main Day Tomb. 4 cost, draw a card. No, it's an artifact. I'd rather drop a creature at 4 and then you have to wait a turn before you can use it properly. No, I'd rather have a creature than being able to draw a card, so that's why I don't run that. As I said, I run one of these boys already. I run one of these, but I've been debating throwing it out because I'm still not sure. Don't think I would run any more. As I said, I just think for 4, the 2/2 makes it really quite dangerous. I suppose if you were dropping 3 of them and had 3 of them in the battlefield, you're doing quite a lot. But the fact that they don't have trample, excuse me, the fact they don't have trample, oh sorry guys, the fact that they don't have trample is the reason I'm currently only running one of them. Another creature that's from the previous one, the Wild Heart Invoke, brilliant ability, 8 cost, gives all your creatures +5 trample, gives target creature +5 and gains trample until the end of the turn. We can make something really powerful, but it's a 4 cost and it's got 3 in the back, and I'd just rather, as I said, be casting something else at that cost. I mean, the 4 costs I've got in the deck, I've got my Hexproof boy who's pretty safe from being pinged, I've got my Master of the Wild Hunt I don't have, I've got my Fangren Firstborn, I've got my Colossus. All these creatures I'd rather be dropping before I'd be having any of these. As I said before, I run 1 Ant Queen, so there. Another heal spell, Bountiful Harvest, you gain health. Pfft, don't see the point in gaining health. If I'm ever in the need to spend 5 cost to gain, 5 health, I suppose it might be at the time, then you're pretty much lost. Garrick's pack leader, as I said, I run one of them at the moment. Still debating chucking them back in, and maybe in reincarnations of the deck as I play it through a little bit more, they might come back in. One interesting card I'm not really sure about, put +1 counter on, put 2 +1 counters. So you're making a creature 1 better, making another creature 2 better, and another creature 3 better. But then it also invokes that you should have 3 creatures on the battlefield at the time. And if you've got 3 creatures on the battlefield, I'd rather be spending 5 cost to drop a 4th creature other than making the 3 more stronger. I'd rather have more because all the creatures in this deck are pretty powerful than 3 big boys, especially without the ability to have them trample. As I said, I run 2 of these boys, so that's why I don't run this one. This card I'm not really sure about, Predatory Rampage, haven't tried it yet. All creatures you control get +3/+3 till the end of turn. Each creature your opponent controls has to block. And that's the thing I'm not sure about. You make your boys pretty big, and I suppose that would, in a sense, force him to maybe lose his side by sacrificing it with this card, but I'm not sure. What happens if you've only got 2 creatures and his side's quite strong? You could maybe, pick off one of your creatures and then win the following turn. So I'm not sure about that card, so I've not run it, so I don't really know yet. As I said, the Sentinel Spider, I've been thinking about putting the 3rd one back in just because of its vigilance and its ability to prevent flyers. So one of your 1 deals to deal with flyers. Another enhancement, Epic Proportions, make a creature huge, I suppose. It's flash, so you can cast it any time, and it makes a creature 5/5 and gives it trample. The trample's a really cool thing, but as I said, it's a 6 cost and you're making a creature bigger. I'd rather be spending 6 to drop one of my big boys, either my Terror Stomper or my Raging Baloths, than making a boy bigger. That's my opinion. This card, the Primal Crux, I suppose that's how you'd say that. Good card, but every time I seem to use it, I didn't have that many creatures. This really relies on you having a strong side of the battlefield. And if you've got a strong side of the battlefield, I'd rather be casting one of these anyway. I just think these boys work out better than this boy. I think if you've got a strong side, then you don't need this additional. I mean, he does have Trample, so he is a good card, and I suppose I could run it. But I just find that because if you've got a weak side, he's weak, so I don't run him. That's my thinking behind that. Primeval Titan, 6 cost for 6/6. You do get lands whenever the Primeval attack on the battlefield or attacks, you can get lands, so it can be quite handy, especially if it's attacking your land dry. But if you're hitting 6 lands, you're pretty much on your way to casting most of the things in this deck. As I said, the only thing that you're not casting anyway, which is 7, is the Howling Pack Knight. So I don't need this. I've got 6 lands, I've got what I need, so that's why I don't run this boy. Boundless Realms, yeah, again, like the last boy, search your library for up to X basic cards. This is a 7 cost, so by doing this, the 7, if you use this on your turn 7, you're getting 7 lands in, so you're basically thinning your deck down and giving yourself a lot of power casting. But as I said, if I'm at 7, I'd rather be casting my Howling Pack Knight than I'd be casting this. I think this isn't going to win you the game, whereas this card probably will win you the game. You're still relying on hitting another creature after that, so I don't run that. Howling Pack Knight, as I said, I run one of these, and the Kahilini Hydra. Now, I was debating running this, but compared to this boy, I mean, this boy can be cheaper depending on how many creatures you come on the battlefield, but this boy's a 6 cost and he can't be countered. He can be countered, so up against the blue decks, this guy just works out better. I just feel that because of the counter, it just makes him slightly better than this boy. So guys, that's my deck running for the Pack Instincts. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to be uploading some games of me playing with this deck, and you'll see how it runs, and hopefully I'll win some. So guys, hope you've enjoyed this video, as I said before. Oh, quickly talk about the curve. 6/1/1s, as that's mostly your kill spells in one creature. 10 2/2s, a lot of mana ramp there, and then we start hitting the creatures. 6 3/3s, 5 4/4s, 6 5/5s. I do have quite a few 5/5s, but I still think with this deck, with the mana ramp down here, you're going to be getting it to the 5. And then I've only got 3 6+s, but I like the way the deck works. I also like not having too many big monsters. And when I first started playing Duels, I was pumping all the big boys in, and it doesn't work that way. You need to have a nice curve, and I like this curve. I like the down low, especially with Pack Instincts. There's a lot of cards you can hit. You're never in too much trouble. Especially if you've only got 3 lands, you're still hitting the Garruk's Companion, and you can still get your Baloth out as well. And they are 2 good creatures. So guys, once again, thanks for watching this video. This is Cawbeertv, signing out.